Hey, and welcome to Fit Me Turo Fitness Podcast, a podcast for people who want to get no BS information about fitness and know that fitness is about so much more than losing scale weight. It's about feeling confident in your skin and empowered in your life. I'm your host, Turo Virta, personal trainer, strength and nutrition coach, and most of all, a husband of my beautiful wife, Miriam. Each week, my guests and me will give you some no BS fitness tips and motivate you to take action in your own personal fitness journey as we talk about nutrition, exercise, mindset, personal development, and executing in life with enjoyable but still effective strategies. If your goal is to look better, feel and be strong and experience transformation from inside out, you, my friend, are in the right place. Thank you for jumping in, and now let's jump into today's episode. Hey, and welcome to Fit Me Turo Fitness Podcast. In today's episode, I'm talking about the weekend struggle and how to stay on track without feeling deprived. So in this episode, I share the best tips I have used for my clients and obviously for myself too, as struggling with the weekends. That was my major problem, especially like when I was younger, and now I still partly struggle with that, but now I have improved so much myself with my weekends. As I don't know, maybe it has something to do that I get older and weekends are looking a little bit different, but there's also some habits that I have changed within the past year. So this is a topic when I talk with the people, I work with my clients, I get coaching applications. Struggling with weekends is one of the most common reasons, and it's to be honest, it's one of the most reasons why you are not seeing results what you actually would like to see. So if you have ever said, I was good all week, so I deserve this, only to wake up on a Monday feeling bloated, frustrated, and back at square one, this episode is for you. So we are going to talk about why weekends feel like a free pass, how the cheat meal mindset is holding you back, and how to actually enjoy your weekends without undoing all your progress. So grab a coffee, go for a walk, or sit back and let's get into it. So why do weekends feel like a free pass? So let's be honest, most of us don't struggle Monday to Thursday. So we are meal prepping, we are tracking our food, we hit our workouts, and then Friday hits and suddenly we are like, screw it, I'll start over on Monday. Or I have been good all week, I deserve this. And or one weekend won't ruin my progress. So these are common phrases what we all use. I use themselves myself too, because this is kind of that flexible dieting mindset, what you are kind of talking yourself out of it. And then when you are realizing in and because even technically, it's true. One weekend won't ruin your progress. But when it becomes a pattern that every single week, that's like if you think it like if it's every single week, that's 8 to 12 days in a month of damage control. So if you think it like what I try to explain, that if you are 80% consistent, you should be able to see results. So it doesn't mean that you have to be perfect 30 out of 30, but 80%, that's like 24 days in a month. So you have like 6 days, but if it's 12 days, if it's 10 days, that's 60% consistency. And there is a huge difference if you are 80% consistent or if you are 60% consistent. And because with half effort, you can't expect top A results. And the change from going from 4 or 5 kind of bad days, or what you might call yourself bad days, I don't call them bad days, to go for reducing that amount from 12 to 6 or from 10 to 6, that's a huge change in overall month. Even you might think that it doesn't like that. And what is one of my favorite ways how to actually do it is to track your consistency and make sure that first of all that you are 80% consistent. Because if you are not 80% consistent, you can't expect that kind of results. If you are a bit less consistent, just don't expect to get A-class results. And often this kind of mindset, this free pass weekend mindset, that is the reason why you are actually not seeing results, because we are talking ourselves out of it, and it feels so hard because you are on the spot from Monday to Thursday, and then on weekend you are like that. Like I said, I screw it, I start on Monday, or I deserve this. I kind of need to reward myself of sticking into a plan, and that is exactly the mindset why you are struggling. So this is what I call like a cheat meal mentality, and that is for me, it's the biggest mistake. What is for most people, it's holding you back. So this is something that most people don't agree with me. They might get even pissed off for hearing this, but cheat meals are making you fail. So why I believe that's the reason? Because if you think about the word cheat, it automatically makes food feel like something bad, secretive, or forbidden. And it's not if you are eating foods that you actually enjoy eating, that is not cheating. Cheating is something that you do like uh, if you have a spouse and you are cheating your spouse, that is cheating. Cheating is something like that you might steal some money or steal something what is not your. That is cheating. Or you are having a test in a school and you are looking the answers from somebody else. That is cheating. But with the food, I don't use word cheating, and because what happens when you tell yourself that something is off limits, you want it even more, and you finally allow yourself to have it, and then you overdo it. So that word cheating, and if you tell to yourself that I just can't have it, like for so many people it's like that, I can't eat sugar, I can't drink alcohol, I can't eat carbs, and then you are very good at it to avoiding those foods or drinks for 4 days a week, and then you are like that. No, finally, I reward myself. Now I was so good for the past days, and then you are like that. Okay, now you had a little bit of sugar, and then you are like that. Fuck it, I start on Monday, and it's kind of coming off limits. Then it's that you can't stop having it anymore because it's cheating, and you call it cheating, and then when you do it, then it's like that. Okay, now it doesn't matter anymore. I couldn't. I just don't have a willpower. I start over, and that is uh, the most common reason why people are not seeing the results they actually wanted. So what I want to offer you is a little bit different mindset, different way of thinking, and I love to plan these kind of things. Like if it feels so different from mindless binge than if you are planning to actually do it. Instead of cheat meals, I like to call them flexible meals or enjoyment meals, and a meal that you truly enjoy, that fits into your life, but without feeling guilty. And and even if it when it happens, it's just one meal, and you should learn to think that next meal is your next chance, and do not turn into one bad meal into one bad day or bad weekend or bad week, even for a bad month. So it doesn't matter if it happens once, but the most common struggle is how you are reacting it when it happens. So this is often like I recently told one of my clients, Johanna, how that mindset was working for her. Like she had a situation that she went a lot of out, like social events, going out, and then was kind of trying to, before already that social event, wait that I know that today evening I have a social event. I have to now, I'm not going to, because there's going to be a lot of foods, a lot of drinks. And now before going into that event, I'm not going to eat anything or eating a bit less than usually. because I know that I'm most likely going to overdo it in that social event or eating more than I would like. And then after, like, obviously when that happened, the next day was like that feeling guilt, feeling shame. And then it was like that, okay, now her mindset was that now I have to skip my meal. I can't have a breakfast. I probably need to go to workout to burn off those calories. And this is exactly the mindset why most people are struggling, and they are going always to struggle with this cycle. And the strategy, what actually worked for her when she tried it in her next social event, was not to show up in a social event with a hunger. So making sure that she was kind of eating good stuff, what she knew that she needed anyways in that day. And I'm talking about like having some good source of protein, having 2, 3 fruits, and those even some fruits or protein just before that event where you are going to attend. So you are not showing up with a hunger. And then in that event, it automatically helps you that you are not going to eat everything in your sight. You are going to maybe think a little bit smarter. Do I really need it? And it's not, the mindset is that you can't have something. You can eat whatever you want. But what we made the rules for her was just basically trying to eat as slowly as possible. Start with protein because that is most filling macronutrient. And then when if there is an alcoholic beverages, having a rule that I'm going to drink glass of water after every single portion of alcohol, if it's glass of wine, if it's one beer, whatever it is, but every time drinking a lot of water in the meantime or meanwhile you are drinking alcohol. And obviously it's because alcohol is actually, even it's a liquid, but it's making your body to rehydrate. So, or dehydrate, sorry. And that's the reason why you are actually the next day often, like at least it happens for me when I have been drinking some alcohol a day before, next day when I jump on the scale I might actually weight a bit less, but then that all weight is coming in the next day back. So that's the reason, like alcohol is actually removing that water from your body. For some people it's that's not the case, but for me, I tend to see that kind of trend that it's one day after my scale weight might actually even go down, even I have been drinking. But I go a little bit later. I talk more about those social events. But this is just the way how to think, what kind of how to approach those social events, and trying to avoid those cheat meals, because it's not that eating something what you truly enjoy is not cheating. It's actually enjoying things. So why this then that restricting too much on Monday to Friday sets you up to failure? So uh, the real reason why so many people are struggling on the weekend, it's not the weekend that's the problem. It's how strict you are from Monday to Friday. So if you are eating super low calories all week, your body is going to crave energy, and that is clear. If you think that you need your calorie deficit calories are, for example, 2,000, and you are sticking with the 2,000 calories, but your body needs 3,000, 3,500 every single day. Obviously, those numbers can be depending on your body size and everything. It can be totally different, but it's just a simple example. So you are creating really big deficit during the week, and then when what happens that you are over restricting too much during the week, and then it's, of course, it's only a matter of time how much you can take it. And it's not about your willpower, it's just your body that it's too less. And then it's only, I don't call it that if it's about your willpower, there's nothing wrong with your willpower. But if it's too less during the week, then it's like an arrow what you are loading all the time, and you can take one more day, one more day, one more day, and then when your brain is wired to seek those high calorie foods when it feels deprived, so it's only a matter of time before you are telling yourself that I had enough, I need a reward, I was so good. But it's actually your body who is going to crave that energy. So and often it's at the same time it's Friday night and you are like that, yes, finally, and you go all out and you kind of reward yourself, say that I need a cheat meal, I want to have some enjoyment, and then often we talk ourselves out of it, thinking like that, I'm in this flexible diet, but honest truth is that you have set yourself into a failure during the week. So this is, if this sounds like you, here is what I want you to try. So stop eating like a robot from Monday to Friday and start adding small, what I call enjoyment meals throughout the week. So there's a couple of my favorite strategies are like that. We had for some people, it worked very well to have some kind of um, enjoyment budget. And that is like when I talked earlier about that 80-20 rule, that it's kind of same kind of principle. So let's say that your calorie deficit calories are 2000. So it's a easy number to make a math. And let's say that your weekly calories are 1400. So let's say 10% of those calories would be 1400. 20% of your from 14,000 calories would be 2,800. So it's around, let's say that it's 3,000. So it's a bit more than 20%. So, but you would be pretty close to that 80%. So 2,800 calories, if you divide it by 4, you would get 400 calories per day. So this could be your kind of enjoyment budget every single day. And then if you start to think it on weekly, and thinking like that, it's every day 400 calories, you can make it like what I love to use is that I love to portion those things out. So if it's 400 calories, it would be 300, whatever number you decide to choose, and obviously depending on your calorie deficit target or your calorie goal. But if you start to implement that every single day and thinking like it's a 400 on Monday, so it's going to be, I'm going to have, and especially those people who are struggling with the vegans, I highly recommend to start actually doing it, because I'm not thinking like I can save it for a weekend. Obviously, technically, it works that way too. That there is like you can use it in a one day, 2,800 calories in a one day, and every other day it's going to be perfect. But if you have that mindset, I often tend to recommend that you, with the purpose, you start to do it already on Monday, having 400 calories worth of cookies or chocolate or fries, whatever you are craving, whatever you are enjoying, what you truly want. And then when you have it on Monday, when you have it on Tuesday, when you have it on Wednesday, it removes that kind of that urge and what you think that now I can't have these things. And when it comes then, when you come into a weekend, then you are like all over it and changing yourself into that mindset. And now I'm not going to count anything, or I can have whatever I want. But if you go with that mindset and start actually implementing those every day, like let's say that if it's one day, Monday, you feel like that, okay, I don't need 400. I can have I eat only 200. I'm okay with 2 pieces of chocolate, and that's totally fine. So then next day, Tuesday, you would have 600. But this kind of way thinking, like that weekly enjoyment budget, and not just leaving everything for the weekend. So this is one of my favorite strategies. So, and the other thing is like that it could be whatever, chocolate, a small dessert, glass of wine, whatever you are wanting to eat, what brings you enjoyment. So as a result, you will be less likely to feel out of control when the weekend comes. The next thing, that's a huge one, is the alcohol trap, and what you don't realize. So it's the big one. It's the big one, and I gotta say that first, before I start this conversation, it's my own personal story. When I was, that's like 2000, I was in my 20s, or in like a lot younger, 25 years ago. So that was my own struggle. I was a professional athlete and working out 2 times a day from Monday to Friday, and then that was kind of that rewarding mindset that now it's weekend. And at the time, like back home in Finland, we love to go. Like obviously, you are younger, you go out, and in Finnish people, we love to drink a lot, way more than we should. And now, obviously, times have changed. I still enjoy having some drinks, but it's not. It was not like that was crazy times. You go weekends like I can't, like it was 10, 15, 20 beers in a one day. And now if I think that that kind of amounts what I was drinking at the time, uh, no wonder that I didn't see results. Like I was not allowing myself any dessert or very little cheat things or alcohol. That was no go, absolute no go from during the week. But then when the weekend hit, that was kind of my reward for working hard. And uh, that is if you want to have it's a totally different mindset. If you want to have a drink on the weekend, I'm not here to tell you that you should not do, but think this: what most people don't realize, that alcohol is not just empty calories. As you know, it's if you think one beer, 0.3, it's around 140 calories. Same thing with a glass of wine. So it's not only about empty calories. So even you think that, okay, that is not that many calories, but what actually happens, it increases the appetite. So that's why you want that pizza at 2 a.m. or a burger at 4 o'clock, like we used to do all the time when we went out after going to bar. What was the better than going out from bar or nightclub at 4 a.m. and going for McDonald's or somewhere, and then because those 3, 4 drinks, that it can erase your calorie deficit for entire week. But the real danger isn't even the alcohol itself. It's the bad food choices you make after. So what was my pattern on the weekend? It was going out, having maybe not even eating that much, and a day before, but drinking a lot of beer, alcohol, then going to get that pizza or burger at 3 a.m. And then next day, you didn't sleep well. You were craving pizza or kebab or food, some other food like junk food on the next day, laying on a couch, and then just telling that, oh, this, I will never ever do this again. And then maybe even went for a workout, trying to burn some calories off, which I would now never ever do for my heart anymore. But at the time, I didn't know any better. And then obviously how it was leading, like then Sunday feeling guilt and shame. And then on Monday, I was like, okay, now I gotta punish myself. I gotta get back on track. I gotta fix this. And that was leading just that it makes it worse. And it was the same thing every single weekend. And there was like maybe 1, 2 weekends in whole year that I was able to change that pattern. But that was, and then obviously, you think that I was just thinking, if I work harder, I can control myself better. That won't happen again. But obviously, it never got better. And if you are drinking every weekend and you can't figure out why you are not losing weight, start by looking at what you eat when you are drinking. So my tip is this: that if you are going out, like I said, talk with Johanna, eat high protein meal before so it will help you to avoid those drunk cravings. So that's my own experience, how I did it, and now how I have been able to change it. And now if I think that on the weekends I might still drink something, but I don't feel guilty about it. I try to, like, obviously now I can't remember when I have been in a nightclub or later, like being awake until 4 o'clock or something. That's for me, just sleep is so much more important. And that's how I do. And of course, like with the alcohol, how it impacts then also for your sleep. So if you don't know, I love to collect data with my watch. It's not like that. there is also like some people, if you track your sleep or something, that you are like thinking that now when my watch is telling that I had a bad night of sleep, that it means that I'm going to have a bad day too. So I'm not that kind of person. So I like to use it like just looking at trends, how alcohol, different kind of things are impacting my sleep. And then obviously, as there are so many studies, how sleep is actually impacting your appetite, your energy levels, how much you are actually moving. So when alcohol, like I can tell from my own experience, what I see, like if I have a one drink, one beer or something, and it's not too close to sleep time, that doesn't have a big impact. But soon as it's two or three or four, that has a huge impact. And like if I, let's say that I would have a three beers, my heartbeat is going to be like almost 10 beats higher, my resting heartbeat at night. So obviously my deep sleep, I'm not going to get my resting sleep. I might sleep my 7, 8 hours, what I normally would. But then the quality is never the same, and how it's impacting. Then the next day, obviously, I'm kind of a little bit foggy or something. I don't have the same energy, and I will move a lot less. Like I might get my steps in, but it's not only about steps. It's all other things like your facial impressions, how if you are using your hands while you are talking, you are like a little bit tired. You are not needing that much energy. And it's not only about steps. I might get my steps in, but steps are still, they are only part of your non-exercise activity. So there's a huge impact how it's actually impacting everything, how many calories you actually need while you are just awake. Because if you have been out, most likely you are going to sit more on the couch, you are going to be less active, you are not, your body doesn't want to do anything extra what is not necessary, and that's how you are actually burning a lot less. And then plus in the addition, your food choices, like at least I crave a lot more sweets when I'm next day, or junk food. It's not that I'm craving some carrots or salad the next day. So it's impacting in small ways for your next days. If your sleep is not good, and alcohol is not good for your sleep. So there are so many factors how it's impacting, and depending also how much of alcohol you are drinking. So uh, then the last thing what I wanted to talk is those social events. So it's was for most of us, if you think that how often you have gone out with your friends and suddenly you are ordering whatever they order. Like at least for me, if I go to restaurant with my friends, you are like that. I don't know what I should have, and then you are asking your friend what you are having, and then you are like, I take the same, or that sounds good, I take the same. So, and or you are looking around your friends, and it feels weird that for if you are picking some healthier option, and you say then to yourself that whatever, it's just one night. But here's the thing: you can eat out and still stay on track, but you can't eat out mindlessly and expect results. So try these simple hacks next time you go out. So pick your kind of enjoyment food, what you truly want. So if you want to have fries, have a fries, but skip the dessert, or opposite. If you want to have dessert, make sure that your main meal is as healthy as possible. And what I love to always, my favorite tip is when you are eating out and you have maybe menu in front of you. I love to think it always looking and starting with the protein. So protein, like if you have like if there is some good steak or fish or whatever, I'm trying to make sure that I have a good source of protein. So it helps me keeping full. I start eating with that first, and then just kind of trying to slow down things. So making sure that I eat my protein, all of it. And then if at some point, like when I have been eating, then if there is some fries left, or if there is a dessert, I make sure that if I have to leave something behind, which by the way, I struggle to do, as my mom always used to teach me that I have to clean my plate. But there are also I make sure that I start with my protein source. So protein first, making sure that I eat all of it, and then everything else after. So that is and if you are going out and struggle with that kind of same thing that I do, like that I have to finish my plate. Very good tips, like depending where you go, how big the portions are. But if you know that those portions are huge and most likely it's going to be too much, and you struggle with that guilt that you can't leave anything behind. Good tip is to ask already before that could I get only half portion and half portion already pre-packed, so it's that you can take it with you. So you are not going to. There's chances that you are not actually going to feel too full after eating everything, because I know, especially in the US or somewhere where I have been eating out, and you go, the portions are huge, and then you're like, oh, I'm kind of feeling full, but I don't want to leave anything behind. I don't want to waste food, like whatever that BS, what you learned when you are younger. And it's funny how it's impacting 30 years after when somebody have this. But it's struggle is real, and just the ways little bit different ways to think about it. And if you take it already in portion it in your plate, that you don't have to feel that guilt of finishing or leaving something behind. And then other thing, like I already talked earlier, is drink water between alcoholic drinks to slow down and keeping you hydrated. So because alcohol is dehydrating, and that is a great rule to drink water after every drink. So just in summarize, socializing doesn't mean that you are stuffing yourself because everyone else is eating. So how to have the balanced weekend without ruining your progress. So here are four simple things you can do to stay on track while still enjoying your weekend. So tip number one is pre-plan your 1 to 2 enjoyment meals. And it's not going to be an entire weekend of overeating. So tip number 2 is anchor your day with protein and movement. Go for a walk, hit the workout, keep your meals protein focused. And tip number 3 is don't let one meal turn into whole weekend of regret. So one burger won't ruin your progress, but the 3 days of binging will. And number 4 is stop starting over on Monday. Just get back on track at your next meal. So this was the biggest thing for me. Like I always like that. Now I went out on Saturday. What is the point even trying on Sunday? It's the weekend is already ruined and I start over on Monday. No, that is the mindset what you have to stop and start to think that, okay, one meal doesn't matter. Next meal is my next chance. If it doesn't happen on next meal, think it the same way for the next meal. So don't wait that Monday when everything is back in normal, there is no weekend anymore. So stop thinking that it's entire weekend, one meal or one day is ruining your whole weekend. So if you take anything away from this episode, let it be this. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. So I hope this episode helped shift your mindset about weekends. And if this resonates with you, I would love to hear from you. So DM me on my Instagram at personaltrainer_Turo and let me know your biggest struggle with weekends. I'll be sharing my best tips and answering your questions. And if you enjoyed this episode, do me a favor, subscribe, share this with one friend and leave a review. Those reviews especially and shares, they helps to find more people to find the podcast and break free from the weekend struggle. Thanks for listening and talk to you soon. Hold up, friend. Do you love Fit Me Turo Fitness podcast? If so, the best way to say thank you is to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review on iTunes. I know every podcaster wants you to leave a review, but it's because those reviews help the podcast to reach more people. I truly want to know what you think and if this particular episode resonated with you. Would you also please share it? Either send a link to someone who you think will find it valuable, or take a screenshot and post it into your social media and tell your friends and family why they should listen it. Make sure you tag me so I can hear your feedback and give you a little love. And if you aren't already following me on Instagram or TikTok, that's the perfect time to hit that follow button. Thank you for being here and listening to Fit Me to a Fitness podcast.